Hey y'all. Welcome back to Rep Your Grind. When you love what you do, you represent to the fullest. Tonight we have awesome team tonight. It was originally I asked his wife, Mr. Claiborne's wife, Jessica Jackson, to come on with us and to share her journey from the classroom to CEO. But then one of the questions, as I was we was conversing, came up about her husband. Now let me tell you about them, okay? While I'm still trying to get my stuff together, his family has been in construction, painting, renovation for years. Like I recently, a few years ago, got my mother roof done, and then someone paint. I can't remember, but I tell you, it's a family affair, right? So I am so glad that y'all came back to visit us here at Rep Your Grind, where we don't just do what we do, we love what we do, and we represent that love to the fullest, right? So I'm asking right now that y'all tag and share with your friends because you too might be one of the guests here to tell about your journey and about your grind, right? So we really want to highlight individuals that took their passion a little bit further. But I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you any longer. We're gonna bring the dynamic team tonight. They just coming from work, okay? Now this is what true grinders do. They work and they come and do their extra things to promote their work so that they tell you they are about business. Okay, so tonight, welcome, Mrs. Jessica Jackson. And look, I think she's my cousin. Now we're gonna search that out. We're gonna search that out. And we're gonna also welcome her husband, Mr. Claymore, to the stage right here, right now. Come on, y'all, give him a round. Look, there you go. There you go.
Mhm.
So if y'all see me looking down, my monitors are right here. Okay. I'm gonna get bougie after a while, but right now we're gonna stick to the laptops. But then I do have a camera right here. So thank y'all so much for coming right in and taking the time to chat with us about the journey, right?
Right. Thank you. Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you for the opportunity.
Are y'all wore out from renovating today?
Huh?
Are y'all wore out from renovating today?
Uh, Today wasn't a real tough day because it was so cold outside, so we couldn't do half of what we planned to do, which was a good thing. Sometimes the weather being inclement is a blessing.
Right.
Right. Give y'all get a chance to get a mental break and a
Right.
Right,
physical one.
right.
Exactly.
I understand because I look today the internet went out and I was like, Lord, what I'm gonna do? So I'm not a big stroller on Facebook. I just post the business stuff, but I'm not just on there. And I started reading before I know it, but the glasses were crooked and I was laid out. I was like, well, maybe I needed it. Well, thank God for the internet going down. But
Right.
tonight, we're going to talk about we all grew up in a small town here in Mississippi, and we all learned the value of hard work. I don't know about y'all, I'm a little older. I did go chop some cotton. Okay, I did.
No, we
I
ain't
did.
shouting no
What
I'm gonna let y'all
said
have
that's
it.
not y'all. That's not y'all portion, huh?
Right.
So,
No.
so before we get in there, tell us how y'all met. Let's take it a little further because
Ooh.
we got to introduce. Oh yeah, because you got to introduce your husband now. He's on now. It was just us girls, but I was like, no, he got to be here because you know I know his family was versed in construction and renovations. I didn't know of yours. So how did y'all meet?
We met. Well, we actually met when we was younger. Her dad
Hmm.
always been my pastor, so we met there. But me taking interest, I actually hopped in her DMs.
Not the DMs.
So I asked her, would it be weird if I got her number, and it just started from there.
So when he asked you, Jessica, for your number, because you already knew him, right? Are y'all classmates or?
No, actually, I'm 35 and he's 33. So we were not classmates.
Oh,
I didn't even graduate in Mississippi.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you feel when he asked you that?
At first, I honestly was like, this boy needs to go on somewhere because the last time I had seen him in person, he came to church with his girlfriend at the time.
Not the
So I
girl I
was
should
like,
ask
I
you.
know he ain't trying to talk to me, and he got a girlfriend. But after we did get on the phone and stuff like that, he said, they had broken up and they was on bad
Mhm.
terms. And from the very first conversation till almost 10 years later, we have talked every single day. We have not missed a day.
Oh,
Even like being into it during some point of the day, we have had some type of communication.
Right.
that's good. That's good, man. You try to pull the bells on the slicks the owner. But things do happen like that. So, Jessica, I have a question for you, right?
Okay.
So, being from a small town and being a female entrepreneur now, how is it different from the educational to now diving deep into your entrepreneur stance, as we call it?
So it has been a major transition for sure
Mm,
because when you're working for someone or for a company, an agency or whatever, that's definite. Okay, once you go to work every 2 weeks, you're gonna get paid. Well, with
right.
entrepreneurship or every month, because when I was teaching, we got paid once a month. But with entrepreneurship, you may get paid this month, but depending upon the size of the job, you may not get paid again for another month or two. It just depends.
Mm,
And there are so many different ways to get paid. It might be an insurance job. It may be, a business. It may be a homeowner. It may be someone just requesting handyman services. So it's inconsistent payments, but you have to come up with a way to figure out, okay, well, how much money do I actually need in order to take care of my business and
mm,
to take care of my bills outside of that? And then coming up, that right there was a whole game changer for both of us because he was on the ambulance, I was teaching. We knew for
hmm.
sure what days we got paid on. So that's been a major transition in entrepreneurship, is just knowing how money flows. But the other side of that is going from workers to bosses, and
Right.
going from the person who has to take orders from someone else to being the one who has to give orders to other people, and trying not to divide that line of like business and personal, because once you start hiring people, it's going to sometimes be people and it's kind of difficult to be like, hey man, get on your job, do what you got to do, versus, I'm finna fire you just because, this or that. And that right there
Hmm.
has been really, really difficult learning, what works best for your particular company, because the people that we will hire for our remodeling versus the people we're going
Hmm.
to hire at the snowball stand are two totally different employees. The
Right.
type of workers that you're going to have, they have to be totally different because the it's two totally different businesses. And so
Mm,
all of that has been mentally, getting your head in the right space to say, okay, well, this is what I need to do for this business, and this is what I need to do for that business. And sometimes what you do at one business don't work for the next. So I think that's
right.
been a major transition for me.
So I think all these questions I have now have totally shifted. I'm gonna try to bring them back. Okay. Okay. Mr. Claiborne, give me your first name. Because I think I've been
Princeton.
calling this since you were young.
Princeton.
Princeton. That's it. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
So Princeton coming off EMS, right?
Right.
And now diving into construction. How did you feel when you first came up, even if y'all had the conversation? What was your motivation to come off your day job to your passion job?
My motivation really stemmed from knowing that no matter what happens in my life, the employee, if something happened to me, they're just gonna replace
Hmm.
me. So
Right.
knowing that my end goal, I couldn't afford it with
Hmm.
my salary that I was making on the ambulance, and if I continue to trade money with time, I will never be wealthy.
Mm.
So
Wow.
now we're trading value for money
Hmm.
instead of trading time for money.
Okay. That's now that's awesome. I've been an entrepreneur a long time. Like I'm a barber, online boutique. So I understand that. And when you was talking about, Jessica, the money aspect of it coming from, bi-weekly, or now it's monthly or every week, what is y'all, I say, system to keep that money flowing even in down seasons? So how do y'all do that?
So we basically we came up with the number, and the number, like, okay, so I quit teaching in June of 2020,
Mhm.
and I think he's been off the ambulance for 2 years now. And so that's like, I was off for about 3 years, but he was still working with us when he wasn't at work,
Mhm.
with the remodeling and all. Um, we had to come up with a number. How much money do we need to survive? How much money do we need to make sure we can pay who works for us? And then determining, okay, well, when we do, because with remodeling, some jobs may be worth $50,000 easily, but
Mm.
how much time is it going to take? And
Right.
so you have to come up with like a schedule, in a sense, of how much money you're going to have to spend each week or each month in order to make sure that by the end of the job you got profit.
Mm.
So that's something that we're still learning, because I think it's a learning curve. I don't know if it's just with Black people in general in the household or what, but we know how to make money. It's
Mhm.
managing it and making sure that our money is making us some more money, so that we don't have to
Right.
physically have to make every single penny. And so that's where we are now in the transition in our minds. It's like, okay, now that we have mastered the remodeling, I mean, we have
Mhm.
worked for some of the richest customers that we ever would have thought we would have been able to work for.
Right.
And, have been able to get into some doors that, with our level of experience from starting at the beginning, we never would even imagine. And so going from that to just basically just stepping out on faith, honestly.
Honestly,
And
praise
that's
God.
just the bottom line. Like, we definitely every single day, we know God is the source. He is the reason why
Right.
we're in this position. So a lot of days we get up and we're like, okay, God, what you want us to do today? We gonna just,
Mhm.
go through that process, because you might write your plans down specifically. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and that. But if it's not a part of God's will, you ain't gonna do it
It won't
anyway. So you
happen.
might as well just
Right.
go ahead and accept that. And that's been a
Mhm.
transition in and of itself.
Right.
Right. And that is so true. Now we're gonna get to them questions that I was sending. Now I think now. I think so. What was first sparked your passion for teaching, and how has that passion evolved over the years?
I think initially, so when I met Dr. Johnson, I don't know if you know Dr. Johnson from Pastor Stanford Johnson's wife.
Yeah.
When
Oh
I
yeah.
met her again, because I honestly forgot that she was my kindergarten teacher. Well, when I first started teaching, she was like, "Do you know you was in my class in kindergarten?" And I was like, "What? No." And she was still teaching kindergarten. And
Hmm.
so to make sure that I believed her, she brought me a picture of me sitting on my dad's lap, and she was like, "This is a picture of y'all," and we got the picture framed and all type of stuff. And she was basically like, even from kindergarten, I was always extremely smart, caught on very easy, but very bossy. And I
Right.
think that bossy side of me kind of like just followed me through all the years. Like, I was always the leader in the class. I always wanted to be at the front of the line. I always want to tell everybody else what to do. So naturally, like, even in church as a young child, I would be, trying to teach other people stuff. And so once the opportunity came to become a teacher, I really wanted to be a speech pathologist.
Mm.
That's why I went to college. I was like, I'm gonna be a speech path.
Okay.
I was head set on that, but I didn't take it seriously when it was time for me to get my master's. So I didn't
Okay.
score high enough on the GRE. So I was like, they was like, oh, you can become a special education teacher, during the time frame of you working on your master's, your second master. So I was like, I'm gonna just try it out. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but we'll see. And I messed around and went and fell in love. I literally did it for 7 years. And I
Okay.
had so much fun. I even have my administrator's license now.
Okay.
I had my specialist degree, but once COVID hit, I was like, I don't really want to teach online. And I wasn't sure how far that was going to go. But I
Mm-hmm.
also wanted to progress. I didn't want to sit down and look at, okay, well, stay in a box. This is all the money that I'm going to make, and it's going to take this many days. Why? When I have a skill set that I didn't even know was this good at the time, that can
Right.
make me way more, like literally. So I'm thankful that I did listen to God. I believe I listened to God and his,
Mm-hmm.
him ordering me to say, hey, in order for this dream of y'all remodeling to really take off, somebody gonna have to let it go. So I did
Mm-hmm.
first. And after
Okay.
it got to the level to where we just could not do it without each other, he was like, hey, babe, I'm getting off the ambulance because I'm not about to have you looking for people and all this and that. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
be there every day. And it just transitioned from there. And even with us remodeling, Princeton will
Mm-hmm.
tell me now, he'll say, babe, the teacher is in you. So if it's something that you learn to do better or faster than us, stop us and teach us exactly that way. So I've had to
Mm-hmm.
stop myself so many times, say, okay, y'all, this is what we're going to do in this way and break it down as if I'm still in the classroom. Like, hey, I quit teaching. I don't want to do this. But then I still end up having to do it on top
Right.
of still teaching children's church at church and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
still in there.
Right. Because sometimes you have a gift of teaching.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
There's nothing you can do with, like, a lot of people tell me, like, they like, why you don't go and teach barbering? Because you teaching the clients this, and us, but you have a gift of teaching. And I'm gonna tell you something, to be a team, teaching is very important, because if he's more hands-on and the strength of the body of the male is stronger, right there, if he's willing to listen, that's the gold mine right there. Okay. If he asking you, because by you getting the speed of learning, and he is willing to implement what you instructing because he trusts your knowledge, that's a gold mine in business, you
Yeah,
know, because that's the CEO and COO right there already in the making, to where you may not, well, we speaking, you're not going to be able to, you don't have to go out and touch nothing else. You
right,
directing, and then he'll
right.
know what to order, what. See, you already in the foundation of that, and that's awesome. So Princeton, so you was emergency management systems on the ambulance. I did not know that.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't. So when you was on there, right, and when you left there, what did you see, or what did you feel that you took from there to better enhance this? Especially
Uh,
like dealing with sharp objects and stuff, and keeping your people safe.
well, you have to be detail oriented. Like even
Mm-hmm.
when you going into an emergency situation, you have to pay attention to all the details in the room. You got to read
Mm-hmm.
everybody while still focusing on your patient, because you have to. Let's just say I have a patient that can't breathe, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of patients that can't breathe, they can't talk, they can't communicate with you. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to listen to the people around you, read
Mm-hmm.
their medications to see what kind of, if they have any respiratory issues, and if they do, will my treatment make it worse or will it make it better? So
Mm-hmm.
paying close attention to those details. When I got into remodeling, that's the same thing. Finishing construction is all about the details, the
Mm-hmm.
fine details. It could be a piece of molding that will make a cabinet look 10 times better that the normal person wouldn't look at, or it could be my pet peeve is the finishing of the sheetrock. I don't like the sheetrock to be all lumpy and humpy and
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. I want it smooth. So that makes a good paint job once you got a good paint surface. So that's the main thing, is just the detail oriented.
That's good. That's good, because most people don't realize whatever your profession is, when you go into your passion, it really work hand in hand.
It
Like
Yeah,
does.
I
it
was in the
does.
medical field. Yeah, I was an X-ray tech, and I was even in the secretary. And so, but when I noticed when I start barbering, I look at the fine thing. Like I look at people if they got a weight line, you know what they call it when it look like they didn't blend that bottom. That's the first thing I'm looking like.
Right.
No, baby, they ain't blend that. So that's good. That's good that you could take that from there. So now, owning a snowball stand sounds like fun, but demanding, right? And I love them. Okay, I love them. I sit in that car and I send those kids out. So, what inspired you to even start that? And what lessons have you learned about entrepreneurship from running that business when you have to work with maybe different people during the summer months? You know, because people, especially younger, they will leave, come, leave, not dedicated.
Right.
So, what have you learned about that?
Well, actually, Princeton was the one. He always is researching ways to make money. He will. I will wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I will see the light on his phone. Even still now, as hard as we work, he would be up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning looking up different ways to make money. And so before, like right, I would say right when I started talking about quitting teaching, he was like, "Hey, we should buy a snowball stand. We're gonna buy another snowball stand." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "No, I don't really want to get a snowball stand because I don't want to compete with Mrs. Sutton." So one
Mm,
random day, I was just driving past and I saw the for sale sign. I called him. I said, "Babe, now I don't know if this for real or not, but it's a for sale sign on Mr. Sutton. Let's
mhm,
call and see what's up." And at that time, when I tell you, I know it was God. It had to
Right.
be
It was God.
because I think for the amount that Mr. Sutton sold us the snowball stand for, which, that is what it is,
Right.
for that
mhm.
amount, it was $1,000 less than what we were making on our very first big remodeling job.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
So
Look
we
at
had
God.
just enough money minus $1,000. And I called my dad, "Hey dad, we want to buy the snowball stand. We got all the rest of the money but $1,000. He
Mm,
was like, "We're gonna work something out. Y'all want it, we're gonna work it out, we're gonna get it done." And we bought it.
Yep.
Just like that. Like it was crazy because I had just officially quit. And so of course I had a little bit of money saved up,
mhm,
but we also were spending money because we had just started hiring employees to work for the
mhm.
remodeling business. Both these things started at the same time. And it was like we was crazy because who having a business is like having a baby. We don't have children yet. But
Okay.
those were our two babies that we basically started at the same exact time, like literally having twins. And I tell Preston and our family members all the time, when we have kids, we have twins. The first time, so we can go ahead and get it over with. Just go ahead and have two boys through. But thinking about it now, I mean, at the time, we were stressed out beyond measure. I'm talking about
Mhm.
it was crazy. Because on one end, we buying paint, and on the other end, we buying sugar. It was crazy, for real. But here we are 5 years later, and like, thank God
Wow.
we did it then.
Right.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
that's awesome. Now that is a true testament of walking out on faith. Because people don't understand when the Bible said you watch as well as pray.
Yeah.
You have to watch because sometimes it's stubborn. You know,
Mhm.
it is quick. You have to be on it. You know, God show you, he give you that unction and go for it. Walk out on it. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
it happen. If you look at what's going on, he be working the plan all the time.
All
But
along.
Preston, when she called you, who found out about the stand? You right. When
No,
she
she
called
found
you, how
out
I
did you
about
found
it.
out
feel?
that it was for sale.
Yeah, she
Right,
called me.
and she called you.
And she called me.
So how did you feel when she called? Were you nervous? Did you be like, wait, because you know
No,
that stuff real.
I knew, like, I knew it was God. Like, I'm like, they got
Right.
me. And I mean, it just, once we talked to Mr. Sutton and we knew everybody else that had called him to buy it, we knew the
Hmm.
people that he named, they had the money that day. Like
Mm.
And
that.
he waited
And,
on us.
and he waited. We
He
told him.
waited on us to bring him the money.
Yeah, he waited. He waited. And once I talked to him, I said, well, Mr. Sutton, look, we really want to buy this stand. You know, we want to, not replace it, just keep it going, keep the momentum going.
Right.
And he had my he's my cousin daddy. So he called her and
Confirmed that we were
confirmed
good
that we was
people.
good people because he knew me. He knew me from school, but in school I
Right.
used to, play in class, and he's telling me, "Boy, you just like your dad. You just like your dad." So once he talked to my cousin, he called me back. He said, "I'm not gonna sell it to nobody else." And he waited, and he taught us everything,
Hand in
everything.
hand.
Yeah. Even if we
That's
call him
what's up.
today,
Yep. If we call him right
today,
now and
he's
say,
gone.
Mr. Sutton, the machine not working right. He coming. He
Yeah.
gon' say, all right, baby, did you try this? Baby, did you try
Right.
that? Call such and such.
Yeah.
And the some numbers he's giving us, we'd be like, ain't no way these people still know Mr. Sutton. As soon as
And
we
they
get on the
do.
phone, oh, this is Mr. Sutton from Bell's Army.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we the new owners. But I mean, he built the brand that was so great for us because he
Right.
took all the hard work out of it, honestly.
Yeah, he did.
He already had the
Wow. That's
clientele. People come back to Belzoni for
mm-hmm.
years and years to come looking for a snowball. And so many people have said, man, it tastes exactly like it did when Mr. Sutton came. And that's, like a blessing to us because we didn't want to change it. We loved it.
Right.
We thankful that we're the recipients of.
Right. Because I'm telling you, when I used to come back from Baltimore, first thing we do the next morning, like, hey y'all, we gotta go get a snowball. We gotta go.
Right.
Right.
Everybody say we going to Miss Sutton. We going to
Uh-huh.
get a snowball. And then like to find out y'all had it and it still was the same. Like, and that was like, thank God, because so much in our hometown is dying. And it's
Right.
like there's no vision. And who hurting are the younger people. You know what I mean? Because we had the shoe repairman. I feel like Mr. Sutton did. He nurtured what he sold. So I'm looking like when y'all get ready to retire, find some a young man, a young lady that loves shoes. Teach them how to do that. Find whatever this is that's going on. Find don't let your vision die that you had
Right.
40 and 50 years.
I've
You know,
even
if
been
your kids
even about the shoe repair shop. When I was going to Jackson State, I actually worked at a shoe repair shop the whole entire
oh
time. Fix shoes, shine shoes. When I say Jess of all trades, I mean Jess of all trades because
and master them all.
I literally did not. I went in there. I actually went in the shoe shop to get my shoes fixed.
Mhm.
And I was talking to the guy as he was fixing my shoes. And I was telling him, I said, I got to go home Saturday because I cut grass at the nursing home in Belzoni. He said,
Mhm.
you cut grass? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home Friday night and Saturday morning. I'm cut the grass. I'm gonna come back to school.
Mhm.
He was like, if you'll cut some grass, I know you'll shine some shoes. You want work for me? And I was like, yeah, what I gotta do? So he was like, I'm gonna train you and teach you everything, what to do. And I was going to Jack State during 2007 to 2011. He was like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna pay you $10 an hour. What? $10 an hour? Then I was so excited. And I
You were
shined the mess
balling.
out of them shoes. And now I've been thinking about that, like, what if we opened a, shoe repair shop because he is older. But I have been
Mhm.
seeing, thankfully, some young guys up there working with the guy here now.
Good, good, good.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need it. Because I'm telling you, every time I break my heel, I'm dropping off.
Right.
And
Right.
he remembers everything. He was like, Ball, you ain't been back here in about 4 months. I said, I know you still gonna have my shoes. I know I keep forgetting. I come home every week. I keep forgetting to get the shoes. Then when I remember, he just be looking. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm here. But yeah, that just came up. So hey, hallelujah. You never know. So
Right.
this right here, you and your husband, right, work together, which people would love to do that. A lot
Right.
of folks gonna be alone. Now they love each other at home, but at work too, nah, that's a hard thing. Sometimes me and my husband, we go in the store and I be like, you can stay in the car. Because we be ready. They be lying to wherever they going and they be ready to get and I be wanting to lollygag.
Right.
So we working on it now. We went to two stores and it was good. I said, well, hallelujah, God is good. So so what are some of the challenges though? How do y'all balance the business, the marriage, the creativity in the programming and everything? How do you handle that? Oh, Sherelle, she on.
So
So how do
we
you
are
handle?
learning that, life is a journey for real.
Mm-hmm,
It's not a marathon. What worked yesterday may not work today. And
mm-hmm,
so I think that's the biggest thing that we are learning daily about each other. We have to compromise and have conversations all day, literally, from the moment we wake up in the morning. And the best thing that we could ever do is our relationship with God, consulting God. Hey, what
mm-hmm,
what what would you have us to do today? And letting him guide us through the process, because some days I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Sometimes he wake
mm-hmm,
up on the wrong side of the bed. And so, like you said, we together every day,
mm-hmm,
all day long, most days, unless we decide to split up for a job or whatever the case is. But on average, every day, all day, we're together, and then we have to come home together. So one of the
mm-hmm,
things that we started doing last year was, we ain't gonna go to bed mad. Whatever it is, even if we get into it at work, we could be yelling and screaming to the top of our lungs in one moment. I walk up to him, I'll be like, okay, sweetie poo, we still in love. I'm going. We got
say the whole
we.
statement.
What whole statement?
She say, okay, you want to be in love or you want to fight? so
Yeah, and so that helps to break the ice, so
right,
that we both are realizing that we cannot afford to go to bed angry. And honestly,
mm-hmm,
dealing with Byron when Harmony
mm-hmm.
passed, that right there taught us so much about our marriage that
right,
we needed
Yeah.
to know.
yeah,
And the reason why I say that is because during that whole process, I know for that whole first year, he came to our house often. He would be in our conversations with us. We ate dinner together a lot of nights and stuff like that. And he literally was like, hey man, don't take no moments for granted
right.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so because
Well,
of us watching him grieve through that process so strong, we're like, hey man, ain't nothing we
ain't
can
nothing wrong
talk
with
about, worth us losing sleep over. We gonna fix this right now, because tomorrow literally isn't promised. And that
The
helped
next
us
second.
so much when we think about that. Like, you could literally lose the person that you love in just an instant. So what we beefing for? Ain't none that serious.
Right.
And literally, I'd be like, so you want to fight or you want to be in love?
Right. We're gonna go. We're
And,
gonna go patty cake, bacon,
yeah,
meat.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
we gonna,
yeah.
we gonna go in here and fix something to eat and wait on somebody to come in there. Okay.
That
right.
part,
But that
that
is
part.
that
And that's every single day.
Yeah.
that's good about it though. So Preston, when you get to your heart moments, what goes through your head? Still because you're the head of the house, you're the man. And when the things come up and the friction happen, men express different than women. Look, I should have had y'all on. It's been a journey. But we talk. Y'all gonna have to follow that page too, cause it be some good over there. Okay,
Right.
I might have young couples on there maybe in May, so I'm gonna have y'all, maybe Sherelle and Pi. Just some young couples to talk about. But follow that over there too. It be juice over there. Okay,
Okay.
this
Okay.
more this more about business. But how do you maintain that business mindset, even though this is my wife, and if it is a struggle that day, to keep your mind settled on business and not let it overflow. Because some men, I ain't talking about you, but some men, when they get upset, they don't want to do nothing else.
Right. I mean,
So how
I've
do you
been that,
stay
I've been
focused?
that man. I've been that man you talking about. Like when I'm mad,
Okay.
like it don't matter where we are. If I feel like I've been attacked and you ain't listening and I'm the man and I have been that person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing I had to just mature a little bit, and realize that every every conversation is not a fight. Every like her way versus it shouldn't be her way versus my way.
Right.
So once I got out of my own head, I started to give her grace, even when she made me mad, even when I didn't agree with how she wanted to do it or how we wanted to go about this project. I realized that every task got a leader and a person that's going to help. And just because she shined don't mean I can't shine. So once I got
Right.
over myself, it helped our relationship a whole lot better. And like I said, I started to be more patient with, when we had those arguments on the job in front of the workers. We never really argued in front of a customer, but we had
Right.
argued the workers. Just be patient. And my uncles, I got some uncles that kind of told me, once I started to vent to them about this and that, and they was like, bro, just be patient with her. Like you got to give her room to grow. She got to give you room to grow. It's not y'all. It's not about today. You got to think about y'all relationship that you still got to
Hmm.
go through this process with her. So once I stopped viewing her as the op or enemy, it got a whole lot better. Like even when we did disagree.
Right. Right. And that's good because being like, even when I was in a barber shop, I never worked with a spouse, but even in there, we family, we know we're gonna come to work every day. But I'm telling you, I was the only female most of the time, and we could be mad about 4 weeks, and they be still try. You want to get some food? You want? you know, and I had to learn that, okay, let that drop, let that go. We still got to come in here and work. We still family because we working together. And that was good because a lot of time people don't know it's not easy, especially when your creative mind going, you want to please the customer, you got employees over here, you coming from home trying to leave everything at home, you know, and not bring it to the business, and then some days you just tired.
Right.
That's just point blank period. You're really just tired,
Period.
and we women just have sometimes during the month where we just don't want to be bothered.
Right.
Huh.
So I and we still had to get up and get that go on. So Jessica, being a role model for young girls is such important, right? What message do you send to young women who feel like their dreams are out of their reach?
Okay, so my late aunt, her thing was her motto was the sky is the beginning, not
Hmm.
the limit. We're always taught sky's the limit, sky's the limit. Well, no, the sky's the beginning because literally you can soar as high as you want to soar. It's no
Hmm.
limitations. It really isn't. And the main limitation is your mind and changing your
Mm.
mindset from I can't do this or this is impossible. I've seen nobody else do this, so I shouldn't. And with me literally running into a male dominated environment, it has been a transition. But because I've always had that bossy mentality about me, even when I'm working with my dad, sometimes I'll tell him like, Dad, let's see, two are better than one. That's in the Bible. Two are better than one
Hmm.
because they'll have a good reward for their labor. So
Hmm.
if iron sharpens iron, let's work together to see what's gonna be the best thing. And that has really opened the door in so many different environments with dealing with men. Because I can get along with women customers very easily, but
Hmm.
sometimes there is a husband there who's like, oh, well, I don't know
I don't
about
want to
that
talk to the
because
wife.
that's a woman kind
Right.
of thing.
Right.
And Preston will say, he'll just stand back and be like, hey, man, you talk to my wife about that. And so many guys have respected that, because they're like, okay, well, she is going to help me get this figured out. And once I give them my ideas and they work out or whatever, it's so well respected afterwards. It's like I have to
Right.
fight my way in the door, but once I get in, they don't want me to leave.
Right.
Literally, And so it's been so rewarding though to encourage other young women because we have a girl that works for us full time. And
Okay.
so when people see her come in, she looks like a little kid. She's like she's about 15 to 16 for real, but she's 23. And so when Tay come in, she's working with us. If I'm putting towel up in the shower, she putting the mortar on the towel and handing them to me.
Mm.
She cutting the towel. Like I'm literally training her hand in hand to do everything I can do. And a lot of times when guys come to work, even when Princeton first started working with us full time, it was more of a power struggle in their head. Like they women, they ain't supposed to be able to do
Mm.
this. I'm the man, I'm the big dog, and we have to tell the other guys, younger guys especially, because they want to, try to show us up. And so I let them mess up on purpose sometimes. Hey, it is what it is. I've been doing this for longer. And then on top of that, on top of the fact that I have had some practice doing this is a God-given talent. Sometimes it don't make sense to me. I don't even know why it work out the way it do. But I just be thankful to God that it do. You know what I'm saying? And just
Right.
like I had an opportunity recently to go talk to the kids at the VOTEC. And there were, I think I talked to sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So many kids was texting me on Facebook, having their mamas call me, hey, can I work for you? They want to do it, but they want, I feel like they needed to see somebody like me to say, hey, if you want to, you can. Because I had to get out of my own head to say that just because I'm 35, oh, I can't change my career. Yes, I can. If I don't want to do this after I turn 40, that's okay too. So that's why
Right.
I really keep that in my head, that the sky is literally the beginning, because I can do what I want to do. Like the Black Panther, I can't think of his name, but the guy who played the Black Panther, one of the videos that came out once he passed, he said he didn't want to leave this earth until he tapped into every God-given talent that he had. And that's the way I feel as Jack of all trades. I can sing a little bit. I can do hair a little bit. It's so many. I can bake cakes. You know, it's so many different things. And guess what? Before I leave this world, I pray to God he let me do every single thing I think I want to do,
That's
because he
right.
blesses my hands to be able to do it.
And I'm telling you, when you said that, that's just like me. Like I've done hair. I went to cosmetology. I've been in corporate America. I went to X-ray. Whatever God bless, but barbering. When you talk about the men, when I first started barbering, men say, "You ain't gonna take my strength." You you know what happened when that woman cut Samson hair? Like, dude, you ain't Samson, and
Right.
I am not Delilah. Okay.
Right.
So you can get, so it can be, but let me tell you what you just said that was so powerful. You said, my husband say, and the men be comfortable when they know your husband backing you, that make you a fortified city. You know what I mean? Because most men will step up, yeah, I take this, da da da. But when you stand toe to toe in with each other, and then the knowledge, and then the brawn, and then both of y'all flipping, he know about the background of making the income work, and you know about the forehand of how to design. That shows customers before they even refer you on your renovation, they referring you on your teamwork
Right.
because they watching.
I know.
So Preston, by you doing that, what would you say to other young men to let them know you can live your dream? Like you ain't just got to be around here running amok. You know what I mean? What would you say to young men that want to have live their passion in a city where they think ain't nothing else, ain't nothing here. Everything dying.
Well, first off, you can't lose hope. Like
Hmm.
once you lose hope, you can just forget it. So you got to remain hopeful. That whatever you do, if you pray to God about it, you ask God about it, that He will work it out for you, no matter what it
Hmm.
is, no matter what you're trying to do. And you also have to be realistic. Like some people choose things that they're just not good at. They just think this is a good thing for me to do because they saw someone else do it. But
Hmm.
everyone has a purpose. And once you find your purpose, that's where your money and your life gonna come from. Like people don't
Hmm.
understand that. It's once you find your purpose, God He gonna open the doors that He need to open. He gonna make the money flow how it need to flow. That's not to say you're not gonna go through anything, but that's to say I'm on the right road. I'm on the right track. This is what.
Sherelle. Speaking of cakes, I ain't got one yet.
This is I forgot what I was talking about.
My
But
man.
They just popping in.
But
Yeah.
just remain hopeful, find your purpose, find what you're good at. Like I listen to a whole lot of motivational speakers and people like Eric Thomas, Steve Harvey, and their biggest thing is purpose.
Mm,
What were you designed to do? And
mm,
whatever and Steve Harvey always says, your purpose is what you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. So whatever that may be, you made fried chicken the best in your family. You should be frying
Mm-hmm.
chicken. That's the thing, you know. If you do hair the best, then do that, you know. And also to tell the young men that you can't be scared to get your hands dirty. I mean,
Mm.
generation, a lot of people, you know how my dad said we was watered down compared to them. So
Right.
I'm looking at some of the young men that's coming up behind us. You know, they scared to kill bugs and spiders, and you know, they just scared to really get their hands dirty. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, you know, like being a plumber, you doing a filthy job, but being a plumber, you can see well over six figures every year. I
Mm.
met a plumber that was a little younger than me, and I think he had made by September he had made $275,000
Mm.
just in Greenwood.
Yeah.
You know, so but you know that's one of them jobs. I'm not finna go dig dead. I'm not finna go under the house. I'm not finna do that. But you know, him going under that house has
Mm.
provided a lifestyle that he loves and one that he can have for a long time.
Yeah, and most of them don't understand. You remember how they used to say, um, "You gonna be end up working on a garbage truck." Man, the garbage truck making a
Garbage truck,
hundred
right?
thousand
That's the
dollars.
job. People get paid good
Yeah,
money to ride on a garbage truck.
I don't think we
right. I'm
have
like,
conversations enough. I was telling one of my
mm-hmm,
friends this the other day. We don't have conversations enough with young people who are at that age to where they're trying to figure out what they really want to be. And
mm-hmm,
we don't have conversation with them about how much money these people make. And so
right.
sometimes we just figure, oh, people who just dress so nice and pretty all day, every day, those are the people that got money. Sometimes those are the
Mm-mm,
brokest people that you see walking around.
Yeah.
They just make it
right.
look good. But
Mm-hmm,
it's about learning, okay, well, had I known what I know now about remodeling, I would have never went through teaching. But I feel like it was all a part of God's plan. And
mm,
the patience and stuff that I learned and the way to be able to encourage the people who work for us that they can learn to do anything. And I feel like all of it was a part of the process. But if I would have just had the mindset of like, okay, this is going to help me to get to wealth, I would have left high school and went straight to remodeling, like probably
right.
the next day.
I know because when I look around being a barber, I intertwined with a lot of young men, and a lot of them, especially when I was in Baltimore, it pained me because I asked them, "What you want to do when you grow up?" I ask my grandkids this all the time. I text them every day. You know, they don't always text me back, but you know they in
Right,
that age.
Right.
But I always ask them, "What you want to do?" And when they tell me what they want to do, Sweetie going to buy every. I'm gonna I'm gonna buy it because that's how I grew up. You know, I
Right.
had to cut the grass. We had to paint the house. My dad didn't care you female. You need to know to do something. Put your hands to work. Your gift
mm-hmm.
would make room for you. I mean, that's how we was raised. But now AI in the picture, they get famous off TikTok and but they're not having a foundation of these hands.
Right,
Right.
God said he will bless the works of your hand. Not just this. Even if you're doing videography and editing, they're not even taking it further to become passionate enough to study it to make it a profession.
right,
Once they be like, well, that ain't doing. I'm going to something.
right.
They need a foundation of that. So, do you think even in our community would like a what they used to have job fair back in the days? What about a passion fair? To ignite, to ignite the kids. Ask them, what do you really love to do that no one have to tell you just automatic? Because
Right,
it's
Right.
some good bakers, some good guys that can bake.
Yeah.
right,
Young men, but they were like, I don't want nobody to know, what, But if they had their passion and knowing downtown could be a multiplex,
right,
you see what
True.
I'm saying? But nobody is trying to cultivate that passion within them. They just want the quick fix and go on.
right.
Right.
So before I let y'all go, and I am so glad y'all joined me. Preston, you all right with me, Mr. Claiborne.
Thank you.
I call him that. Look, ever since we were younger, I don't know, he used to walk around, and have me laughing all the time. But I I just want y'all to give some encouragement to the young men and young women, even if they're older, because you know a lot of people not living their passion. I'm 51, so a lot of them still working and they do things as hobbies, and they didn't have the passion to go further, or no one encouraged them. Because it don't matter what age you are, you can
Right.
encourage the next
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Right. So give them a word of encouragement before I let you go. And I am so glad y'all came in tonight because it was really good. It was really good. And I know y'all tired. So I ain't gonna hold you. But give them a word of encouragement, each one, for the people that listening and will come on later.
I think you definitely have to be self motivated, for sure. Self motivation and realizing before that God is the source. Um, Keeping that in mind continually, like all through the day, that God is the source. If He brings you to it, He can bring you through it. A lot of times, once you get started on your passion, you're gonna have some tough seasons in there. That's why people a lot of times attribute life to seasons, because you're gonna have some up seasons, some down seasons, but you cannot give up when it gets rough. If we could really just lay it all out for how many days that it was rough, that we probably should have given up. We should have just been like, okay, we're just gonna go back to our jobs. Instead, we wouldn't have saw the profits that we have seen across the years, just continuing and not giving up. Because if you can keep going through the rough seasons, just like a diamond goes through all of what it goes through to shine, you do the same thing in life. Keep going. Don't give up. Go through the process so that you can shine.
And I totally agree with everything she just said. The only thing I want to add is to just start. Like, no matter what phase of life you in, get it going. Do it tired, do it broke, do it sad, do it happy. Just do it. Like, don't let nothing stop you from doing what you have to do. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's not gonna be a perfect time to start that. It's never gonna be nothing is just gonna line up perfectly for you to start whatever you want to start. Just get it started and get it going.
And even if it does feel like you're lining up perfectly, brace yourself.
Yeah, brace yourself.
Brace yourself, because as soon as you think it's going so smoothly, which a lot of times it can, go smoothly. Be prepared for the seasons where the storms do come and the winds blow. But if your foundation is in God, you're gonna make it.
You're gonna be all right.
You're gonna make
You're
it.
gonna make it.
Thank y'all so much for coming. That is so true. I'm telling you, when them storms come, whether it's in life, whether it's in business, because the enemy come different ways to bring distraction. And if you're allowed to have it, because we both seek the first kingdom of heaven, all his righteousness. We
Right.
both take it to him in prayer.
Yeah.
Everything that happens, even in business, people don't understand. Who better? He said, I know the plans that I have for you.
That
So
part.
who better to talk to when things get rough than him first? And then, debate, because he gonna bring the answer if you believe and trust it.
Right.
It ain't gonna always look like that. So I am so glad y'all came on tonight. I mean, look, Preston, I'm glad you came.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I got on.
I'm glad.
I
Yeah,
just want to
because
watch me a movie and lay up on the couch.
but it's good because excuse me, a lot of young men don't see men in the forefront no more. They always see us.
Right. That's
You
true.
know, like she said, being in a male dominated, I'm a barber, and I was on Barber's Row. Where I was the only female in a big city in Baltimore, and God blessed it. But they always see us. But when they start seeing me and step forward and say, hey, I'm telling you, it was rough, but I started. Me and my wife, da da da. Let them see a foundation of love and stability and stuff like that. Then they'll be like, okay, because I'm telling you, they looking for something.
Right. That's
And
true.
I'm so glad you came on. It was God knows what he's doing. Okay.
He
Yeah,
do.
he do.
So look, stay in the background. Don't leave right now. And I'm gonna close it out and I'm gonna come back and talk to you. Okay, is that okay? All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Rep Your Grind podcast, where we just don't do it great, we represent. And I'm going to ask them tonight if they will come on with a couple of more couples and follow us on It's Been a Journey podcast, where we talk about the backstage of marriage and business, but where we talk about developing the relationship. 'Cause I'm telling you, when they was talking, I just saw a whole nother episode over there taking place, because there's a lot of people getting married and you're young and you need to know how to hold your foundation strong, even in business as well as in your marriage. So I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I thank Jessica and Preston for coming in tonight and telling about their journey from education to emergency management to their own snowball stand, now their renovation company. So look, stay tuned to Rep Your Grind for other things. And remember, don't just do it great.
And shared it.